Developing right now, police in Virginia desperately searching for a motive in that horrific murder of a 13-year-old girl who had overcome so many hardships in her young life. And the suspects, two Virginia Tech college students. On the records, Griff, Jenkins, and Ted Williams are on the ground investigating the death of Nicole Lovell. Griff and Ted join us live from Blacksburg, Virginia. What did you learn today, Griff?
Greta, the tragic death of 13-year-old Nicole Lovell is absolutely rocking this Blacksburg community. Authorities in the police station behind us very tight-lipped. So Ted and I investigated all day, beginning with where her body was found. Take a look. It's here off Highway 89, just south of the Virginia border in Surry County, North Carolina, Ted, that they found the body of Nicole Lovell. What do we know?
Griff, after 4 days of searching for Nicole, law enforcement received a tip that Nicole's body may very well be in this area. Law enforcement came to this area, and within about a mile of where we are now standing, in deep brush, deep wooded brush, they found the remains of Nicole. What we also know, Griff, is that one day on Saturday, prior to finding these remains, they arrested David Eisenhower, a Virginia Tech student. And after his arrest, the day after his arrest, they wound up arresting another Virginia Tech student, Natalie Keeper.
So Wednesday, January 27th, Nicole Lovell goes missing. 4 days later on Saturday, the 30th, a mile, 1.2 miles south of this sign here in these dense woods, they find her body based on tips. But earlier in the day, they had arrested Eisenhower for that murder, or at least for the abduction.
Yes, and the sad part about it is, and from all that we've been able to glean, is that David Eisenhower had relatives in this area, right around this North Carolina-Virginia border. They owned homes.
And finally, the actual exact location of where the body was found, we're told only it's deep woods, but it's actually not made public by the authorities. Is it your sense it could still be a crime scene?
Oh, absolutely, Griff. And that's one of the good things that investigators here, federal, state, and local investigators have done. They have preserved the area. It is a crime scene. And they're going through that crime scene with a fine-tooth comb, because what they're trying to do is show not only a nexus between David Eisenhower and Natalie Keeper, but they also want to try to determine if others were involved in this child's untimely death.
Well, you look around, just the unbelievable denseness of this location. It's a wonder. What a job by law enforcement to have found her. And Greta, we got a real sense of just how hard this community was hit when we went over to the middle school where Nicole attended and spoke with Brenda Drake, the spokesperson here for Montgomery County Schools. Take a listen.
The teachers have really been a source of strength for everybody in the building, and so they're really doing the best that they can to model the types of behavior that we would want to see, that it's okay to grieve, that it's okay to cry. And now we have to create a new normal. What is our new normal now without Nicole here?
There's a viewing in a memorial home tonight, as well as the funeral tomorrow, as Ted and I continue to investigate, Greta.
Ted, let me ask Ted a question. Ted, why do you think there's so few details being released by law enforcement? I mean, they've got two people in custody. They have found the remains, yet we know so little.
Yeah, that's the $64,000 question, Greta, but this is all part of an investigation because, as you've said earlier in the show, they're trying to establish a motive. And so as a result of that, they're trying to determine if there are others actually involved with the death of this child.
Now, do we know if the arrested has made a statement? Do we know how he might have connected with the 13-year-old who, by the way, overcame the most incredible challenges when she was a child, including a liver transplant, and bullied online? I mean, this poor child. But do we know why or how they think that the defendants are connected to her? Do either one of you know?
Yes, through social media, Greta, it is believed that Nicole met David Eisenhower and that there was communication on social media. And Greta, I got to tell you, please tell our viewers out there tonight that if their child is on social media, to monitor social media. Social media can be good, but it can be a very, very dangerous thing, as we've seen here in the case of Nicole.
Griff, do you know what's the young college student? How is she connected to this?
Well, that's an important point, Greta, because originally we know that Natalie Keepers and David Eisenhower came from the same Montgomery, Maryland, town of Columbia, Maryland, and they were friends at school here. However, originally Natalie was charged as an accessory to murder after the fact. The charge is being upgraded now. She was supposed to be in court today. That's been pushed back for a few days, but she's now been charged with accessory to murder before and after the fact.
Griff and Ted, thank you both.